Well, good morning and welcome to Chair Yoga. It's Friday, June 5th, and we're just going to start kind of on a slower note today. Start with some breath work to, again, try to find some calm energy. We still continue to be surrounded by kind of a roller coaster of messages and emotions and unrest and things like that. So we still need to come back to center and try to find that calmness within ourselves to better be able to do whatever's needed to deal with the current situations. So let's go ahead and just sit up nice and tall and actually relax into the back of your chair a little bit today. Normally we use our core a little more, but just feel the support of the back of that chair, and then let your hands rest softly on your legs. Let your shoulders open and just relax down from your ears. And close your eyes. And let's just take some full, deep breaths in and out. And breathing in and out through your nose as much as possible. You still have a relaxed lower jaw, your teeth slightly parted, but try to breathe in and out through the nose. It's like everything that has been happening, first with the coronavirus and then the other situation with George Floyd. It all seems to come back to breath. And we first were dealing with a virus that at its worst was literally taking away people's ability to breathe. And then we have a situation where again someone has a knee against their neck and is saying they can't breathe. And our breath is literally our life. It's our life force. And the notion of losing that ability to breathe can be very anxiety provoking. So we're just going to keep breathing in and out. Let's take a little bit of control of this involuntary action, making it voluntary, by simply adding a pause between the inhale and the exhale, as well as the exhale and the inhale. Again, just do this at your own speed. I'm not going to count it out for anyone. Just notice what it's feeling like for you and your body, and what does taking these full deep breaths do for you as far as your own mental and emotional state as well as your physical state. Let's take one more full deep breath. And as you exhale, go ahead and just sit up enough that you're no longer resting on the back of your chair. And we're going to start rolling the shoulders, but still having the movement coincide with your breath. So you're inhaling as your shoulders come up towards your ears, exhaling as they go down and back. And just let your hands hang down at your sides. We'll do a few more shoulder rolls. Now feeling that unsupported weight of your arms. Still breathing with the movement. And then we're going to start to raise and lower the arms with the breath. Inhaling with the arms coming up. Exhaling as they come down. Palms lead on the way up. Palms lead on the way down. Let's do that again. Lift up. This time, if you are so inclined, if you want to reach your torso down and touch the ground, and then come up from the floor. If you're more comfortable staying a little higher up, that's fine. And again, just at your own speed. Let's do that one more time, and then we're going to end up with our arms overhead. Take it down and lift it up. And then we're just going to shift the shoulders, reaching one arm and then the other. Sometimes I call this climbing the ladder. We do this a lot when we're sitting on spin bikes. And then touch your thumbs together, and then take your arms out to the side. So now we're still raising and lowering the arms. We've just moved into another dimension, another plane. Exhaling those hands down. Inhale up. Let's do that one more time. And then just grab your right wrist and pull on it. Lean gently to the left and just hold that and breathe. So you'll feel a stronger expansion in the right side of your rib cage just because of the angle of the body. Come to center, pull up on that other hand and lean. Breathe in and out. Come back to center. Let's bring our hands to our thighs, and we're just going to start to slowly circle the torso. It's kind of a paradox. I think a lot of times we do long for, ease and peace, and there's definitely a place for that, but sometimes you have to discern. Let's go ahead and pause at the center, whether that ease and peace becomes too comfortable. And what is the price for that ease and peace? Maybe just rambling here, just sharing some of the thoughts that have been coming to my mind the last few days. All right, let's go ahead and pick up that right leg and just slowly circle that knee. And I think sometimes we don't realize, we think things are moving along pretty well, life's going along well. Let's go the other way. But we're carrying tension in our bodies that's maybe saying something else. Our bodies sometimes are wiser in some ways than we realize. Let's go ahead and pick up that other leg. And just work at your own pace. So when we get this tension, this physical tension in our muscles and our bodies and our fascial tissue and everything, a lot of times it tends to show up at the four corners of our torso, our two shoulders and our two hips. So that's why we do a lot of stuff to target those areas. So we're going to go ahead and cross that right leg over now, and we're going to do a seated eagle. So some of that will kind of stretch the hip and broaden the back of the pelvis. Right leg is on top, so we're going to have our right arm on the bottom. And you can put your hands on your shoulders or intertwine your forearms, but you're trying to feel like you're broadening your shoulders, feeling a stretch in the shoulders where they come into the neck. And then the thing we get to do sitting down that's hard to do standing up, as we exhale, we're going to slide those forearms forward and our torso forward too. And inhale and we draw back. You might even draw back and see if you can find that chair back there, that chair back. Come forward again. And pull back. And again, press forward. And pull back. Let's do that one more time. We'll press forward. Let the chin slowly sink toward the collarbones. Keep broadening those shoulders. Breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Exhale and release. Undo your legs. All right. Come back to center. We'll get the other side. Let's cross that left leg over. Have the left arm on the bottom. Same thing with the arms. You don't want feeling pain and pressure on the front of your shoulder joints. We're not trying to do that. We just want to really broaden the back. And again, slide forward and draw back. Again, slide it forward and draw back. Move with your breath. Exhale. Inhale. And we'll go forward one more time and just hold that, but continue to breathe in and out. And let your chin slowly sink down towards your collarbones. Exhale and undo it. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to move into some sun salutations. I know it's kind of a jump from being in the chair to standing up, but just adding some movement here. I'm just going to turn my chair sideways. And we're just going to start by basically reaching up and bending down to the chair. Reach down to the chair and have a flat back. Have a little bend in the knees. Reach up again. Hitting that ceiling fan. And flat back down. Again, bend the knees. Take it up. And flat back to the chair. And then from here, we'll just go ahead and take your right arm and reach it over the back of the chair. And put that hand down. Let's reach the left hand over the back of the chair. And put that hand down. All right, so now we're going to extend that right leg back. And put that leg down. And then the left leg. I'm flexing my foot. My foot's probably going off the screen there. Yep, it is. And bring it down. So now we're going to try opposite arm and leg. Get the leg first, and then reach out. So really, go ahead and point those right toes now, and just go for length from the fingertips to your toes. Bring it down. And then we'll go to that left leg, extend it out, and then reach your right arm out. And bring it down. All right. So one more time, we're going to bend the knees, stretch up tall, bring our arms down by our sides, and come into Tadasana, our mountain pose. So we'll go ahead and have a little space between our legs, a little wider base, a little more secure base, but you can still root through all four corners of your feet, big toe mound, small toe mound, inner heel and outer heel. Lift your toes. Spread them and try to place them back down. Feel your leg muscles wrap around the bones all the way up to your hips. And then soften the back of your pelvis and gently elevate your pubic bone. And then just stand really tall through your spine. And close your eyes again and just feel the physical sensation of your feet rooting into the ground, those leg muscles, creating a solid base. The strength of your core, bridging the gap between your pelvis and your rib cage. And that spine reaching right to the top of your head. Let's do one more breath. And then we're going to go ahead and flow into kind of a modified sun salutation. Let's inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Find that seat of the chair. Flatten your back and then step back into chair supported plank. And then pull your hips back into downward dog. And then we're going to angle our right foot out, step that left foot in right to the base of right to the chair so it feels the chair, and then lift up into warrior one. And then as a modification, we're going to bring our hands to the back of the chair and press that front leg straight and try to just extend over the back of the chair. Bend that front knee. Bring your hands to the seat of the chair and step back into plank. Again, keep that core stabilized. Pull your hips away from your shoulders and hands. Downward dog. This time we're going to angle our left foot, step that right foot forward. Warrior one with your leg up against the chair just as a locator. And then bring your hands down toward the back of the chair. Try to straighten that front leg, and at this point your hips are squared up to the chair. You're literally looking over the back of the chair. And then walk your hands back to the seat and step back into plank again. And this is a really good way to do planks if we're always taught to do them from our knees if it's hard to do them from the toes on the floor, down on the floor. But when you have your whole body, from your toes to your hands, engaged, it's a more effective plank. So if you can find a raised surface to do a plank, anytime, not just in yoga, and keep the body nice and straight like this, you're getting more benefit from doing it that way. Let's go ahead and pull the hips back. Stretch, stretch, reach. Bend the knees. Walk your feet back closer to the chair. Bend those knees again. Come up, stretch up tall. Exhale, bring your hands down by your sides. And come back to mountain. So we're just like we were earlier. We still got a little space between our feet. Stand and breathe. All right. So we're gonna, if you want to just flip the chair around, we're gonna come around and have the back side of the chair near us now. I'm just gonna move my chair around for visual sake more than anything else. We're gonna come to a one-legged stand here. Right now, if you want to go ahead and do it facing the camera, see what's going on, do that. I'm going to have my leg that's farthest out. The first part is just coming up with one foot on the floor. And at this point, everything is engaged to the front. As soon as we start to open this knee, it throws our hips a little bit, so there is a little bit of a twist in the support leg as well. So if that bothers your knee, just kind of keep your foot touching, but keep your knee to the front. And then lift up with that other arm. What I'd encourage you to try on your own is sometime later today or whenever, find a wall, get close to it and face the wall and try standing in tree pose, just looking right at the wall. You will be amazed at how much easier it is when you have your visual field narrowed down to just a little spot on a wall. All right, let's bring that down. Come back to center. And get turned around however you need to. See my blocking my strap in the way there. So again, you want to have a really strong support with the leg closest to the chair. And we're just going to bend that knee that's farthest away, lift it up. If you can turn it out without feeling stress on that support knee, do so. This should not hurt. If it does hurt, then something needs to be adjusted. Just breathe in and out. We are holding things a little longer today. You probably noticed we're moving a little slower. I just kind of felt the need to shift gears and slow things down a little bit. So exhale, bring that hand down. And come back again, side to the chair. So I'm just going to scoot my chair in now and just go ahead and sit sideways in your chair. We'll get both sides, so it doesn't matter. So right now I've got the back of the chair on my left side and right side has nothing. So I'm going to start with a twist. My right arm's going to reach across, my left arm's going to grab the back, and I'm going to pull with this hand, push with the other, and really make sure that I'm sitting nice and tall through my spine. As we're doing this, let's just very slowly turn our head back and forth, just to get some feedback about whether we're tightening up our neck while we're twisting. In, then to the side, and back out to the front. And I'm not sure why, but my spine is popping like crazy today. Not painful, just noisy. Breathe in and out. Alright, so come back. We're going to take this leg that's farthest away. In my case, it's my right leg. Come down to that kneeling lunge. This is the place where if you need something to raise that leg up to keep these hips pretty even, go ahead and do that. So now I'm going to continue to just rest my left arm on the back here. And inhale, lift my right arm up, breathing with the movement. And bring it down. So what we're going to set up for here today is an option of maybe reaching out toward the ground and coming back up. We don't usually come down like this, so just be mindful. Now see how far you can reach and extend. Inhaling as the arm reaches up. Exhaling as you come down to the ground. One more time. Reaching both arms up, and option here. If you can come down with both arms, don't fall out of your chair. See if you can do that. If not, just do what you can. And then to come up, either walk your hand onto that thigh or push this foot into the ground and just feel how that anchors you down. Takes a little core strength to come up, so be mindful of that. And then I'm going to grab my right wrist. I'm going farthest away again and lean toward the back of the chair, which creates a deeper stretch down the side of this leg and down into that hip flexor too. And come up. All right. So pick up that leg, and we're going to turn around, face the other way on the chair. So still sitting sideways, but now I'm going to have my right side toward the back. Sit nice and tall. Turn toward the back of the chair. Now my left arm's going to reach across. It's going to pull. My right arm's going to push. It's real important that I keep my spine tall and elongated. Twist the rib cage, and then just slowly and gently turn the head back and forth. And do that one more time. And then just hold for a breath. So we're going to do the kneeling lunge now. Lift this left leg down. Same thing applies. You need your hips fairly squared up. Get that set up. Just let your arm rest on the back of the chair. And lift up and down with the other hand. Moving with your breath. Inhaling as the arm goes up. Exhaling as it comes down. So this is a progression. I always start with the easiest option first. And then gradually add more challenging options if you want to do that. So the number one thing to think about is what your body needs today. If you want to go ahead and start reaching down toward the ground, bending forward a little farther, you have that option. Lifting up. It's a little more load into the back and the core. If your back is cranky already, that might not be the best thing for you. Let's lift up both hands and bring it down. If you can, again, if you're not comfortable putting both hands on the floor, do what's best for you. And then root into that front leg, lift back up. And we're going to grab that left wrist and lean toward the back of the chair and deepen that side stretch. And come up. All right, bring it down. And pick up that leg. So we are going to do something a little different today. I'm going to turn this chair around again and have the back of it, your torso now faces the back of the chair. And what this is doing is it's forcing us into a wide leg position, but with some support. And all we're going to do is just bring our head toward the back of the chair. And just pause here for a second. It's hard to put your head down. I mean, we can get on the floor and do child's pose, or we can get on the floor and lay on our belly. And this is a very calming position. There's this thought that touching the head somehow calms the mind. Press it up. And then I'm just going to come across and, again, do a little bit of a twist with my legs open. Just use my arm on the chair for leverage. Come across to the other side. Back to center. All right, so try to straighten your right leg a little bit and reach down. And again, we've just got something to hang on to. That's the only difference there. So we're going to do 4 lifts here, lifting up and lowering down. And the nice thing about this is you can really reach down for that leg and feel like you have more support than if we were flipped around doing this the other way. Alright, so again, reach for that leg. Option, if you want to reach that other arm overhead, it's going to throw more of your weight off to the side, so you will be less stable in your chair. So if that's too much, then just stay with that side stretch. Bring it back, sit up, this leg bends, this leg straightens. It's not going to straighten all the way, most likely, just because of the way the chair is. But again, we're just going to reach down toward that foot, however far you can, and come back up. Exhale and slide down that leg. Inhale, come up. And again, exhale and slide down. Inhale, lift up. Let's do that one more time. Option of reaching up and literally throwing a little more body weight into that stretch. And come on up. Bring that leg in. All right, we're turn this chair back around now and sit in it like normal people. We've been all over the place today. All right. Just realized I lost the foot off my chair. Okay, so hopefully you have a strap. And the strap is just going to allow us to provide some support for our stretch. So we're going to do the strappy sandal stretch today. We haven't done this one for a while. So to do that, you have to come across the foot here, and then I point my toe, you can kind of see it. I want to make an X on the front of my leg. Of course, I have a strap that blends in with my leg more than the purple ones. And then I'm making an X on the back. So I'm literally making more of a support for that leg. So once you get that set up, go ahead and just hold that leg and tug on it. Try to get it positioned where you feel a stretch. At the same time, you're pulling your upper arms towards your rib cage without shrugging your shoulders. Breathe in and out. If it helps to wrap the strap around your hands, do so. Alright, let's go ahead and uncross the back. And now we've got a single loop on that foot. We're going to put both ends of the strap, hold it with that right hand, and reach out to the side, and then try to reach your left hand out the other way. So if you're really kind of leaning that torso and stretching to the left, that counters the pull of that leg. Let's bring it back, a little fold in the back of the knee. So we're pulling on this foot and gently pushing on the inner thigh. Rotating, creating a little bit of rotation of this thigh bone in the hip socket. That's what creates the stretch in the hip. And use your breath to help with the stretch. If your breathing's relaxed, your muscles are more likely to relax as well. Alright, take that strap off, and we're just going to circle the ankle a few times each way. Just mobilize that ankle. You do that at the speed you want to do it. Just make sure you do a few each way. Balance it out. And uncross. Alright, so we'll get the old strappy sandal onto the other foot. Across the ball of the foot, make an X right where the foot and the ankle meet, and then an X on the back of the lower leg. Loop your hands if you need a little less grip on that band, and then just let that band really support that leg. This isn't quite as good as propping our foot up on something like a desk or another chair, but it's pretty close. So you're tugging those upper arms toward the rib cage and making sure the shoulders aren't creeping towards your ears. Just breathe in and out. Oh yes, there's my home phone. I'll just let that go. Yes, we still have a landline, which is 90% spam calls now, but alright. Uncross that back part. We're just going to go to that single loop now. Loop it around your left hand if you need to, and take that leg out to one side and try to reach your other arm out the other way, partly to counterbalance that leg. Few breaths here. And we'll go ahead and guide that leg back, bending the knee, crossing it over the other leg, using the strap to tug upward on this foot and then press downward on that knee. And again, let what you're feeling in that hip be your guide. Continue to try to sit fairly tall. Keep breathing in and out. just let go of that foot and just let that ankle circle a few times each direction. Just let it get mobilized. Ooh, pop. Oh, I snap, crackle, pop today. I don't know if it's the weather change or what. Alright. And then we're going to head and uncross and move into the upper body. So let's just interlace those fingers, press the hands away, but really feel how this opens up the hands and the wrists. And let the head drift downward and just still think about spreading those shoulders like we did earlier. And then try to keep those fingers interlaced, pull it in, and we're just going to come behind the head and make that little holder for the back of the skull. And you're pressing your head against your hands and your hands against your head. Just gently, don't get real aggressive. And just feel how that engages those neck muscles in a way that they kind of forget how to work sometimes. We're so busy trying to keep our head from falling forward and holding it as it's leaning forward for hours. Now it's upright and erect, and this is the way our neck is meant to be held. Alright, separate those hands, and we're just going to do a gentle tug across this time. Open up the other side, same thing, just a gentle tug. Open that up. Hang on to your chair. We're going to actually tug on it, so it's going to anchor the shoulder, ear aligned with the shoulder. Gently use your left hand to pull your head away from your right shoulder. If your head is aligned where your shoulder, ear is over that shoulder, you won't be able to take that head very far without feeling a stretch. The tricky part comes where we get so used to having our head forward that starts to feel normal. And normal alignment feels like it's out of whack. That's the challenge. Let's release that side. Get a good solid grip on that other side now. Ears aligned with that shoulder, and start to gently tug. If you feel like your head's really going quite a ways to the side, try to tip it back a little bit. See what you feel. Just make very small, gentle adjustments here. Anytime we're messing with the neck, we've got to be gentle. And bring that down. Let's just finish with a few spider push-ups. It's a little different action than curling the fingers, so turn the hands over, and we'll just touch the fingernails a few times. Open the hands that way. And we're just going to bring the hands into heart center, but we'll just press our hands. I'll let one hand rest on top of the other. And close your eyes and take a few more full deep breaths. I've been reading from this, Living Your Daily Yoga with Judith Laster with a lot of these classes, but I'm finding, kind of a disconnect with what's going on right now. So I was at home and I found I have a little thing of Maya Angelou reading, so I'm going to read from that today. Courage is like a wind chime in a storm. It is loud and singing about a safer tomorrow. Namaste.